Love Lucy is one of the most iconic television sitcoms ever created. But did you know that it started on radio?
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Hello, everybody.
In the late 1940s, Lucille Ball was seeing her meteoric career start to rise. She'd played a few roles on radio, most notably on the Jack Benny program as recurring characters, and people were enjoying her comedic chops, specifically radio executives looking to pitch a new show. Lucy had two options, Armis Brooks or My Favorite Husband. She chose My Favorite Husband. Armis Brooks would eventually go to Eve Arden, and that spawned its own successful series. Lucy chose well. She starred opposite Richard Denning as Mr. and Mrs. Cugat originally, and eventually changing to Mr. and Mrs. Cooper. The change from Cugat to Cooper was for the Coopers to seem a little bit more relatable to the average American. My Favorite Husband was pretty popular on CBS, but once it ended its run in March 1951, executives were looking to turn it into a television show. Lucy had one stipulation. She didn't want Richard, she wanted her own husband, Desi. Now, this sort of rattled execs at Paramount because they did not think that people wanted to see an all-American girl like Lucy with someone like Desi, and we all know why. It was because he was Cuban. However, Lucy refused to take no for an answer, and they eventually relented. And aren't we glad that that happened? The role of Fred and Ethel in the television show were originally played, although not with the same names, by Gail Gordon and Bea Benaderet, respectively. However, because they had scheduling conflicts, Bea at the time was on the George Burns and Gracie Allen program, and Gail was on Armis Brooks, both television and radio, doing double duty. Despite wanting to, they were unable to successfully make the transition from radio to TV. Eventually, veteran film actor William Frawley was cast as Fred, and Vivian Vance as his long-suffering wife, Ethel. 7 months after the final episode of My Favorite Husband aired, on October 15th, 1951, we went from two people who live together and like it to